Late last week, Russia invaded the sovereign nation of Ukraine, and in response, Ukraine began handing out weapons to its people to fight the invaders. And just like that, the left-wing peanut gallery over here in the US came out in droves in favor of strong borders and armed citizens. Like they haven't spent years fighting for the exact opposite here at home. Except here's the problem. If the only time that you support strong borders is when somebody else's get overrun, and the first time that you think a civilian should ever touch a gun is when he's fighting for his life against a bunch of guys in tanks, you're about as sharp as a bowling ball and twice as dense. And I won't be told how much I have to care about another country by a bunch of fools who could care crap all about their own. So now let's be perfectly clear here, because as far as I can tell, the temperature must have dropped in hell and a bunch of pigs magically sprouted wings. Because the party that wants nothing more than to throw open our borders to everybody and his brother who can skip across the Rio Grande and has tried to ban just about every firearm under the sun suddenly supports strong borders and national sovereignty and thinks civilians running around with full autos is a great idea. About 3 seconds after the Ukrainian government began handing out AK-47s to every man, woman, and 80-year-old grandma who could hold one, liberals watching the bloodshed on Twitter from their couches 5,000 miles away like some bizarre version of the Hunger Games began praising civilians taking up arms against the Russian invasion. Because suddenly, thousands of untrained residents patrolling the streets with machine guns is totally okay. Here's Occupy Democrats hailing how awesome it is that Ukraine is passing out AKs to anyone with 2 arms and a pulse. Hilariously, this is also the same group that recently praised a new California proposal that would allow people to sue gun manufacturers if their firearm is used in a crime. Because about 2 seconds ago, guns were bad. Now here's their argument. You can't make this stuff up. It is okay for a nation to defend its borders once they've already been overrun by a hostile neighbor. And it's okay for citizens to take up arms if they're already in a war for their lives. Now, I don't know where you come from, but in my neck of the woods, we call that too little too late.